Please just give me this last win and I'm free. I'm so close to legendary armor and I just want out, bro. Hurry up and cleave the downs. Cleave the downs, please. I've only been waiting 3 weeks, bro, and we're finally there. I can't believe it. It's actually kind of ridiculous, so I'm going to get this armor before I even finish the weapon. But with that final win, we are free. Well, free is a loose term because I'll probably still be here working on Ascension, but I'm glad that we finally have the legendary light armor done, and I can say that I finally have something legendary on this account. Let's figure out what we need to do. Double check we've got more than enough tickets. We've got our 2,400 shards. We got plenty of gold. Oh, I should definitely open all these boxes and things first, though. This is like 3 weeks worth of PvP reward track loot and 300 laurels of crafting bags. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I kind of just wanted to throw a quick video together talking about my experience with grinding out my first set of legendary armor in PvP, and if I think it's worth it for the average player to do it, what type of gold we've got, how long it took to get the mats, whether the time gating is good or bad, just things of that nature, just so you guys are a little bit more informed if you decide to take on this grind. Now, for me, I was able to get it done over a pretty long period of time because I'm in and out of the game quite frequently. But if you're an avid player and you're kind of sitting down trying to decide what legendary track to grind for, if this is like your second or third set and you just want to try something else, the first thing I'd have to warn you about is please be aware it takes around 300 PvP league tickets to make a full set of armor, and these are extremely time gated. I know that ANET does mini seasons now, kind of like the push beta where you can get some extra tickets in between. I think it was like 50 or 75, but realistically ANET does their PvP seasons on cycle with regular seasons, so you're looking at about 9 months now if you want to get 300 tickets. But that's also doing the bare minimum for tickets every season and not counting the miniature seasons. I would estimate if you're starting from absolutely nothing, you're looking at probably about 6 months of ticket farming, which sets it pretty on par with, I would think, World v World. I've heard World v World armor takes around 6 months. I haven't done that personally. My next set of legendary armor will probably come from World v World, at which point I'll be able to speak a little bit more on that. I have a couple of friends who do PvE a lot more, and if you're trying to do legendary armor, that's definitely the play, because you can get the raid armor in about 20 weeks and the open world armor in as quick as 100 to 150 hours if you play a lot and grind all the secrets of the obscure currency that you need. Now, the other plus that I would give PvP, however, is that you have access to all of the reward tracks and a lot of the currency that you need. Let's take, for instance, Mystic Clovers or Obsidian Shards are readily available in numerous reward tracks, which give you the opportunity to kind of farm everything you might need in PvP, even if it isn't the most time efficient way to do so. And speaking of reward tracks, I'd like to give a shout out to the fast farming community website for Guild Wars 2 that I've recently been informed about. They have a competitive section as well as numerous other sections for tracking numerous methods of gold per hour, but they have every PvP reward track broken down to a gold valuation. So if your end goal is really just to make as much gold as possible while you're at PvP, you definitely should give this site a look at. And while the armor set is a bit daunting when it comes to your material needs, please don't forget about the gold cost, because ultimately you're going to be spending around 2,000 gold to make an entire set of armor. If you want to do it the easy way, if you use the website Guild Wars 2 Efficiency, you can plug in an API key that will pull all of your bank valuation, and it'll tell you based on what you currently have how much it'll cost you. But at time of recording, if you were to buy everything, it would be just under 2,500 gold. Now you'll get to save a little bit of gold because thankfully the PvP precursor armor costs Ascended Shards of Glory instead of gold. So for 1,200 Ascended Shards, you basically get the entire precursor set rather than having to dump possibly hundreds of gold into a new set. But that leaves the 600 tier 6 of every material cost that you'll have to pay up front. which is where a bulk of that gold cost is going to come from. And if you've got some time between now and finishing your set, definitely make sure that you're doing your wizard vault. Buy out all the laurels and everything if you have excess currency after buying other items you may need in the vault. And use all of those laurels to buy the tier 6 crafting bags from the vendor. Because even if you use 3 or 400 over the course of getting the time gated currency that you need, it'll end up saving you several hundred gold in the long run, which may be worth it, especially considering that if you're chasing this armor set, it's definitely more of a marathon rather than a sprint. So make sure that you try to be at least semi efficient if you want to save a headache at a later date. Now, with all of that being said and out of the way, I think we've come to the final conclusion. Was it worth it, and would I do it again? The short answer is probably. I would probably do this again. For me personally, I don't have a lot of qualms with PvP in this game, and I really enjoy the combat system, which makes me enjoy the game mode. I know a lot of people can get burnout and really put off by the toxic atmosphere of the game mode, but I've never really had too much of an issue with that. I almost exclusively play with my chat off in Guild Wars 2, and I know there's a lot of people that don't enjoy playing the game that way because it's an MMO and a lot of people are here for that community aspect. But I'm going to be brutally honest when I say that the PvP community can be very harsh. People that do not have thick skin tend to get very frustrated. It is not insanely welcoming to new players. They often drive newer players away just because they don't understand the game mode. And I've said time and time again that I think that's partially on ArenaNet for trying to get the quick queues together by placing people that are a lower rank with people that are a higher rank, but I digress. So, all in all, I honestly really enjoyed my time. I think that this is a good segue for me to start trying other aspects of the game, which I've already kind of started diving into a bit. I've been looking more and more at World v World because that's the next logical step since there's PvP to be had there. And I want to start doing more of the strikes and raids. I'm insanely interested in a lot of the CM raids and possibly any harder difficulty stuff that they release, as I was a Mythic Raider in WoW, and I tend to do a lot of the harder content that comes along with most MMOs. Haven't decided if I'm going to do legendary medium or heavy armor next. I think it really depends. I'm very much a light armor player in this game, but I think it depends if I really enjoy engineer for medium or if I really enjoy revenant for heavy, because those are the only two classes I think that I'm very interested in at the moment. I think my next logical step will be to go ahead and finish the Ascension, which is the legendary PvP backpack. I have enough leftover tickets from this season to go ahead and clear that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that. And then I need to start working on some legendary weapons, although I'm not at all sure which one I'm going to do there first. And I want to do the EOD achievements to get the legendary necklace. So I've got a lot of goals to work towards at the moment. It's just a lot of picking and fighting which way I want to go first. So at this point, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you stuck with me this long, I really appreciate you. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it and enjoyed hanging out with me, and I hope to see you guys again in the next one. Take care, everybody.